President Cyril Ramaphosa has accepted the interim report of the Madlanga Commission of Inquiry and its recommendations, and he has ordered Acting Police Minister Firoz Cachalia and National Police Commissioner General Fannie Masemola to form a special task team to investigate those identified thus far by the Commission for Investigation. I get reaction from Juanita du Preez of Action Society. Welcome, Juanita.
Hi, Chris, and thank you for this exciting interview. It's just at the right time.
Well, your first thoughts?
I'm very happy that there is actually something happening. This is great news. The president got the interim report yesterday, and today he already there's some movement. 14 people that needs to be investigated, and he's put the two top people in control of this investigation. So yeah, and it seems like the whole Ekurhuleni Metro PD is on that list. But after the horrible answers we had from Julius Makonazi, from asked by Ian Cameron, I'm happy to see his name on there. But all of the other ones, yes, it's great to see all of these names, and it's great to see the action. And I hope the investigation goes fast.
And General Sedona also, after his lamentable performance, he struggled at the Madlanga Commission.
Yeah, I think all of them was just. I'm happy it's these people. Sedona had alleged involvement in obstructing, the investigations, and with the KZN hawks. So it's big names. It's not just random people. It's really high-ranking police officers and municipal officials. So yeah, it's great.
Who else's name would you have liked to have seen on that list?
I was just thinking about that. I know this is the interim report, and I would still like to see some other people in the final report implicated and investigated. Of course, we want to see the more national people, Dumasani. We want to see all of the high-ranking police officers, not just in the KZN part of it, but the top ranking. Mchunu, I would like to see all of them. Everybody that was implicated, I would like to see investigated and properly investigated, and then I would like to see consequences after that investigation.
Now, former Deputy National Commissioner or suspended Deputy National Commissioner Shadrack Sibiya's name is not there.
Not yet. I hope it is there in the future, but I wonder if his name is not there because it's not done. There's more to come. Maybe that could be it. But yeah, it's an interim report, so let's look for the final one, and then if their names are not on there, then I will be worried. But I think it's coming.
Or maybe because he's already being investigated, as one can assume from the raid on his house, etc.
That could be. He's just not officially listed on this list, but yes, it could very well be why his name is not on that listing today.
Well, after all the testimony that has put Special Leave Police Minister Senzo Mchunu in a bad light, he is still digging in his heels and shows no sign of wanting to resign.
He should really just give up. It's so overwhelming, all of the evidence against him. I don't know how he thinks he can get away with it. And just going to saying it's a smear campaign against him, it's not. There's too many different people who confirmed everything that was going on behind the scenes. He really was aiming for that high post, and he was not going to let anything stand in his way. And I'm happy that it came out and that we don't have him as the minister anymore. We have an acting minister and he's not stepped down yet, but I don't think he's going to be reinstated at all, ever.
Over to the drama at the Ad Hoc Committee. There's never a shortage of it. And now the elusive Brian Mogotsi refuses to appear unless Parliament pays for 7 days of private security.
Well, maybe he got so used to the luxury life and that he's not willing to not have the luxury life. And I understand that he is afraid. But you should be afraid because you were doing wrong things. And I don't think it's a lot of people are afraid, and a lot of people did wrong things. Nobody paid for their leave or for their stay when they have to come in front of the committee. So yeah, no, it's actually ridiculous of him to expect that. I know he had the protection in the past, but those people who protected you, they're not there anymore. So you have to just face the consequences of what you did, and it's time for you to speak, to answer questions.
Meanwhile, some politicians are probably celebrating the sudden shock death of the infamous Gulam, who drove certain political narratives so forcefully on X. He was found dead in a Sandton hotel room, for those who don't know. Your thoughts?
Yeah, that was and I when I heard about it, I was thinking, because he wasn't, the information that came out is that he wasn't acting out of his own conscious because he wanted to bring out the truth. He was being funded by the secret fund, the General Machines Project, to discredit specific peoples and specific factions. So my first thought was, was he now asking for more money, and he said, okay, then I'll spill the beans? Is that why he was taken out? Because it looks like it's looking like a suicide, but I don't think it is, obviously. Or was it the other side who got to him? It's very interesting, but I know they got onto that investigation very fast to look at his social media and the messages and so on and so forth, to see who he was linked to, who he was speaking to, who was funding him. So I hope that it moves fast. But it's I would really like to know who made the call to take him out, because I think that's what happened.
Allegedly, there were some anomalies in his room, like a pair of brand new school shoes and an empty laptop. And I don't know if you saw the photograph of his body. The first time I saw it, his face was blacked out and his one hand was up with his fist clenched. Many people then commented on the clenched fist, and then next a photograph appeared with his face not blocked out anymore, but the hand down.
Yeah,
Did you notice?
I didn't see the first one, but it was, yeah, they are weird. It looks staged, and that is what makes me think it was not a suicide or an overdose, because there was cocaine and beer bottles and alcohol and so on.
And a vodka bottle on the bedside table, the typical staged suicide.
Very, very staged. I think they could have tried better. But yeah, very strange things. But why was he now? Was he not useful anymore, or was he asking too much payment? Or I hope all of those questions will be answered very soon.
I mean, there's speculation that he was lured to the hotel room because he had been promised more money. That's what is being said on the one hand. On the other hand, it's being said that he had recently been served with court papers for defamation and hate speech, etc. So it's the suicide narrative versus the staged suicide narrative at the moment.
Well, he was a very controversial guy. I maybe he didn't only do the stuff or broadcast or comment on the stuff that he was paid for. Maybe some of it came from himself. I know there were a lot of defamation and complaints and so on against him, but definitely there was payment. But that's come out from the hearings and all of the evidence that we've heard now. That is definitely something that happened. But we never celebrate when somebody is murdered. But if you want to play in that world, and this is what all of these criminals should know, if you want to play in that world, those are the risks that come with playing in that world. You had the fun times, you had the big cars and mansions and everything, and cash, but now all of that is gone, and you might pay with your life because you were playing in that world.
And while he didn't always get it right, he was uncannily accurate in some of his predictions, so it eventually became obvious that he was being given information at quite a high level.
It was too specific for a normal person or somebody who he's speaking a bit deeper. It was too specific and coming at very specific times also, almost as if it was a planned social media campaign. So yeah, and I think that is what alerted people to him maybe not just speaking for himself.
I must say that his posts about former President Jacob Zuma and Duduzile, as well as Economic Freedom Fighters Commander-in-Chief Julius Malema and former Intelligence Minister Lindiwe Sisulu, got really vicious.
It got vicious. And that's what we're saying. For some of the stuff, he was spot on, and in a comment kind of way. In other, it was in hindsight, it was planned, and you can see why it was posted to put the factions against each other and in that way. But so for Zuma, the stuff that he said, yeah, he got vicious. He didn't have a filter, and but those are things that some of it was not obviously fed to him. He just said that, and some of it was obviously fed to him.
And interestingly, he started going for Gauteng Premier Panyaza Lesufi. I think Lesufi was his last target before his death.
Yeah. Again, staying with those factions, I was wondering until when did he start doing the paid advertising, paid commenting, and until when did it last? So was the Panyaza Lesufi stuff, because it fits into the faction, was that also still falling under the contract that he had with the higher ups in the police, or was that just in himself taking aim at somebody? There is a lot to be said about Panyaza Lesufi. He is a high-ranking guy. He's also aiming for high ranks. And his stuff he's done has also been controversial for many people. So it could be either one of those.
One thing about Gulam, he always stayed loyal to President Cyril Ramaphosa, didn't he?
He did. He did. And I don't, there is a time and place to stay loyal and to be loyal. But you usually stay loyal to your friends and the people who do things for you. So the implication is that he stayed loyal to Ramaphosa. He put him in a good light. Everybody against Ramaphosa was in his gauge, and that makes me ask and wonder who was the person giving the opdracht, what do you call it, the task? Does it go up to President Ramaphosa, or is it one of his inner circle people who was driving this narrative? for him.
Because Gulam was blindly loyal at all times. And he was very pro-GNU, remember?
Yes. Again, just showing who he was against, who he had in his target, and who could do no wrong in his eyes. Even with the Pala stuff, he was blindly loyal to Ramaphosa, and while everybody else were asking different questions.
Well, whether he killed himself over his work or whether he was killed because of his work, he's paid the ultimate price. Thank you. That was Juanita du Preez of Action Society speaking to me, Chris Steyn, at BizNews.